Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another Social Sports Pad podcast. I am Ricky, and alongside me is Tim and Alex today. Ben and Justin are out saving the world from, radioactive spiders and stuff like that. We are here to cover week 4 of the NFL. The first week of the London series of games got everybody up early. So make sure you drink your W Energy using promo code SSPP10 for 10% off of your online order. Let's get to it. Alex and Tim, you are here with me tonight. So say hello to the social verse.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, everyone.
All right, let's get into it. Like I said, this was the first week of the London series of games. It featured a phenomenal matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Minnesota was able to leave merry old England with a W, and New Orleans was left with disappointment. So we are going to talk about all the games, that happened today. We're going to preview the LA Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. And then we're also going to talk about Thursday night's game, which is the Indianapolis Colts going and riding into Denver to take on Russell Wilson and that TV dinner offense. Oh, wait. I mean, Russ is going to cook against the Indianapolis Colts when they run into town. But here we go. We're going to start with Minnesota and New Orleans. What did you guys see, or did you guys fall asleep in the game? Alex, I'm going to have you go first with all these games. Then I'm going to have Tim, and then I'm going to follow up. All right. So, Alex, what did you see?
Man, I saw the double doink at the end of the game. It was a field goal. I think he was about 50 plus yards out.
61, man.
Oh, 61 yards out. And he hit
Yeah.
the post and then the crossbar. And that would have tied the game leading into overtime. And they could have won it because this game they were pretty even though Minnesota has more talent. It was pretty even all day.
Yeah, definitely was. Tim, what did you think on this game?
I think the running game for Latavius Murray, even though they didn't have Kamara, I think Murray and the other running back stepped up for New Orleans. And Andy Dalton had a good game actually as a QB for the Saints because Winston was out. So I think Andy Dalton had a good game, decent game.
I mean, yeah, an Andy Dalton sighting in merry old England. That was my kind of wake up call. I thought I was back in a dream in 2020. I'm like, what in the world? We got the red rifle going on. I mean, especially with the way the Saints are without Kamara. You had Ingram and Latavius Murray. Running the ball, pounding the rock. It was definitely something else. Definitely with the way the that field goal happened for Lutz at the end, 61 yards, and just double doinking. I mean, with most people for hockey, that probably would have been called in, but unfortunately that's not how the ball bounces, if you know what I mean. So basically, we'll start with the 1 o'clock games. We're going to go to Atlanta, where the Atlanta Falcons defeated the Cleveland Browns 23-20. Alex, what did you see from that game?
This was a good win by the Falcons, and a good thing Cordero was back. He didn't get 2 touchdowns; he only got 1, but it was enough to push him forward to victory.
Absolutely, Tim. Anything to add?
I think Cleveland Browns had a decent game. This is one of my upsets because I thought Cleveland Browns would win against Atlanta, but I guess I was wrong in this game because Cleveland Browns had a good game with Chubb, but I guess you need more than Chubb to win a game.
No, I mean, you definitely need more than a Chubb to win a game. But hey, Atlanta, all the more power to them. Atlanta, you are definitely one of my surprise teams of this quarter of the season. I have Atlanta as one of my top 5 draft pick teams. I definitely did not expect them to win as many games as you know well, I mean, I definitely saw him winning more than 2 games, but hey, hey, whatever. It happens. You're doing better than I thought you were going to. Definitely Cleveland. You were Cleveland. Sucks to be you. So from the Atlanta Cleveland game, we are going to Baltimore, and we are going to talk about the collapse of the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. Baltimore having a lead by 17. They were up 20-3 at one point before Buffalo came back and won the game. What's your thoughts on this game, Alex?
I'm glad that I made my late switch.
Yeah, this was the game you in our morning episode. You originally had Baltimore, and then you went with Buffalo.
Yep, so I'm happy about that. What I'm not happy about is that I guess they didn't involve Mark Andrews today, which was weird.
Yeah,
that was sad.
Yeah, it was bad. Tim, what you got to add?
I'll say they did involve Dubson. What is it? The wide receiver? Lamar Jackson, wide receiver? They did involve him a lot. Either the main one he throws to. It's like, what happened? But I think, is Baltimore the Linda Falcons, or is Baltimore Baltimore? Because it's like the choke team right now. Baltimore did.
No, I mean, as evidenced, in the morning show when I was talking about them, and it made my prediction that Baltimore would go up, by at least 10 and then lose to Buffalo. Baltimore right now just does not have the ability to close out games. They play hot in the beginning, which they did against the Bills, forced 2 turnovers in the first quarter, and got up to that 20-3 lead, and just Josh Allen and the boys, they were able to get back in. This is definitely not the first time this has happened with Baltimore this season. They were up 21 against the Dolphins. They let the New England Patriots back in last week. So it's kind of hard to trust Baltimore right now. They got the Bengals next week, and I kind of really want to say that Cincinnati is going to come in and pop them in the mouth like the Bills and the Dolphins have. It's just hard to trust the Baltimore defense right now. So moving on from Baltimore, we're going to Dallas, where the Dallas Cowboys defeated the Washington Commanders 25-10, spanking the Commanders like a redheaded stepchild. All right, Alex, what do you have that you noticed from that game?
Well, Antonio Curtis Samuel didn't really do much today. Well, of course, this was due to the QB play, which was blah. But hey, Cooper Rush, 4-0. If he's a free agent at the end of this year, he could get a big contract as a backup.
Or as a starter. Boy knows how to win. Tim, what you got to add?
Michael Gallup and Dallas Schultz did phenomenal from injury. And they came back from injury. They did awesome job as a back from injury players. So they stepped up the game when they came back from injury. Both the players.
Yeah, and I mean what I see right now with Dallas, without Dak Prescott, the team has definitely been a lot better with Cooper Rush in. Like they struggled against the Buccaneers when Dak was in, and basically Coop is 3-0 right now on the season. So definitely no real rush for Dak to come back. Dak, stay on the sidelines, get yourself all fully healed, and then that way, hey, Cowboys make a nice run during the playoffs with a fresh hand. And no, that was not a pun because of Dak's hand injury. So from there, the shock game of the week, I definitely thought that this was going to be a snooze fest between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks, where they scored a combined 93 points. Who'd have thunk it? Alex, what did you see from this game? Alex, can you hear me? Or are you just as shocked as I was about the outcome of this game?
I wasn't too shocked about it. My gut was telling me that this is going to be like a high-scoring game. Turns out it was a scoregami game due to the scoreline. But
Yes,
Jamal Williams was a good pickup today. Did me really good.
All right. Tim, what you see?
The bathroom scenario where DK Metcalf had to go to the bathroom in the middle, was that the call or something? Where they had to go, where he had accident or something? Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
athletes are people too, man.
Yeah, but he had
Sometimes
an
you gotta
accident in the middle
go.
of the play, and they had to bring up the whole thing to so he could go to the bathroom in the middle of the game when he was But DK Metcalf is I think Geno Smith said those games he got Disney involved and Fan involved his tight ends. Then Metcalf scored a lot of yardage, like 90 yards against the Lions. So Metcalf is a person how to stop one of those wide receivers that's I'm gonna run to anybody. Don't mess with
Yeah, I
me.
mean, have you seen that guy? Like, seriously, I wouldn't want to see him in a dark alley. Jeez. But yeah, I mean, this was definitely like fantasy scoring, you know, heaven if you had some of these players on your team because like DK and Tyler Lockett had yards. Most everybody had a touchdown. It was like the touchdown fantasy fairy just was like bang bang bang, you're gonna score. um so a bunch of craziness. Yeah, absolutely love the scoring in this one. I love high scoring games so very much. Now we're going to go from Detroit. We're going to go to Houston, where the LA Chargers came into town and, beat the Houston Texans. It looked like everything got back on track with their running game, but it almost goes to show you go against Houston, you'll get yourself right back on track. So, Alex, what you got from your Houston Texans?
Another close game because we were coming back in the fourth quarter, but then we didn't convert on the crucial first down, which led to field goals and a touchdown. So we lost. We collapsed in the fourth quarter again. But hey, at least Brandon Cooks was doing good for us. And then the only thing was he had to go up against Austin Eckler, who ran all over us.
Mm-hmm. All right, what you got, Tim?
Austin Eckler. Speaking of Austin Eckler, Austin Eckler from that finished up maybe 3 weeks before this game. He scored me 30 points this week in running yards. He got 3 touchdowns by himself, so it's phenomenal. Even though the backup wide receiver did a decent job for Mike Williams because the other one was hurt, so it's but then Herbert was good. Herbert always plays a good game, so they bounced back from no loss against Jaguars.
Yeah, where they got beat like they owed money. But I mean, it goes to show you go into Houston and you basically get everything right. Herbert had 4 touchdowns. looked like he absolutely didn't need Keenan Allen, who is out today. And I mean, Houston, they do well. It's just they aren't doing well enough. So definitely kudos to the Chargers on their victory today. Keeping it in the AFC South, we're going to Indianapolis, where the Indianapolis Colts were defeated at home by the Tennessee Titans, 24-17. What do you got for us about that, Alex?
Let's see. Kind of thought the Colts were going to win due to them surprisingly beating the Chiefs, but I was wrong. But then again, this was a game between two meh teams.
Yep. All right. Yeah, anything to add, or should I go to Tim?
Don't expect these teams to do much in the playoffs if they make it.
I doubt it right now. The way they look, it definitely looks like the Jacksonville Jaguars are about to walk handily away from this. All right, Tim, what do you say?
I think Tannehill did a good job. Derrick Henry stepped up the game. The disappointment was JT. JT didn't do much for the Indianapolis Colts against Tennessee at all.
I mean, good players will have a bad game every once in a while. I was happy to see Bobby Tree's touchdown. Bobby Tree's my boy. It was, it definitely felt like kind of a ho hum kind of day, over there. So going from there, we'll go to New Jersey, where the Giants beat the Chicago Bears 20-12. Is there anything really to talk about between these two teams? Alex, do you have anything?
This was a good defense day from the Giants. But then again, this was supposed to happen anyways. They were going against the Bears, who had barely any passing attack. And I think they did contain Khalil Herbert pretty well today. So
yeah,
good day defensively.
It was barely a game to watch. Tim, you got anything to add on that?
I think even though Bears lost, I think Mooney had a good game because they lost all the wide receivers, but Mooney stepped up his game as a wide receiver because Mooney doesn't get a lot of touches, but I think he's.
I mean, I guess. I mean, they really need to do something in Chicago to build four fields. If you expect to have a quarterback be your quarterback of the future, you need to put some pieces around him. You should have gone out in free agency and got somebody or drafted somebody to make him successful. Chicago, you have not done that, and that is a damn shame for you to do so. I also want to, basically talk a little bit to the Giants fans. Sorry, I'm pulling an Atlanta here, but no, the Giants, I have heard that this fan base has wanted Daniel Jones gone. But right now, Danny Dimes, he is playing lights out right now for your team. As long as you are winning, don't worry about him throwing for 300 yards or 5 touchdowns or anything like that. You don't need to throw up Mahomes and Allen and Herbert type numbers to win a football game. At the end, the W is all that matters. Speaking of W's, We are going from New Jersey to Philadelphia, where the Philadelphia Eagles remain unbeaten after beating the Jacksonville Jaguars 29-21. Alex, tell me what you saw from that game.
This was not Jalen Hurts' best game, but they survived. They were able to get the win due to Jacksonville stumbling in the second half.
Definitely. Tim, what did you say? Yeah, Tim, what did you say, man?
I think they still got the win, but they deserve the win because Eagles are one of those teams that come from behind and win most of the games. So and Jalen Hurts is showing himself as more MVP candidate day every day.
I mean, yeah, definitely in the beginning, it looked like it was going to be not your typical day for the Eagles, because I think it was like a pick six at the beginning for Hurts, and this is the kind of game that with Jalen Hurts being talked about in the MVP conversation, definitely he showed some of that MVP caliber by overcoming that early mistake and basically leading the team to victory. Thanks, and that Philadelphia Eagles defense, chef's kiss. Good job, boys. All right. So we go from Philly to Pittsburgh, where the New York Jets beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we got benching of Mr. Biscuits, Mr. Mitchell Trubisky, and we saw a Jets special with Zach Wilson catching a touchdown from 2 yards out. So, Alex, what did you see from this game?
Kenny Pickett, sure, his first pass was a doozy, but he got his first touchdown today, moving with his legs. So hopefully they open up the game more where we can see more of him running with the football and just make it easier for him for passing. But also, Steelers blew a lead. The Jets stole another win.
Yeah. All right, Tim, what you got?
I'm so happy Zach Wilson is back. He's way better than Flacco. Yeah, and all his players they threw to B Scar and his wide receivers. Corey Davis stepped up at the game too.
I mean, Zach Wilson came into Pittsburgh and he handled business there like he handles the Cougar section of Cougar Life or whatever dating app he's got. But hey, good on Zach Wilson coming back and getting that win. The Jets, definitely are not the top 5 draft pick team that I expected them to be. Unlike the Carolina Panthers, definitely doing the thing that I wanted them to do, losing to the Arizona Cardinals 26-16 in Carolina. Is there anything really to talk about in this game? Alex, is there anything?
Well, McCaffrey is pretty much their only offense. Baker Mayfield is not doing too well since leaving Cleveland.
Baker is Baker.
Yep. But yeah, pretty much McCaffrey is their everything. And the thing is, he's injury prone, so probably going to be another lost year for them.
Probably. Tim, do you got anything to add?
Since Marquise Hollywood Brown did a phenomenal job, I think I need to go Fanatics to get his jersey.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely should go to fanatics.com. Click the link in our bio. Fanatics, I believe, right now are still holding on to their sale for up to 65% off on select items. So yeah, take a look at some of the jerseys from some of the athletes that we have. Like Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, Jalen Hurts in his MVP year. We also got the baseball coming up in the postseason, so get yourself a Aaron Judge jersey or or any of those players that you want to follow for getting ready for the World Series. But basically leaving Carolina in a hurry. Hurry. We went to the only game that went into overtime today between the Green Bay Packers and the New England Patriots. It was a lot closer than it seemed like it was going to be. Alex, what did you see from this game?
Okay, I thought this was going to be a breeze for the Packers. I was wrong. And oh my gosh, the Patriots, they are in trouble. They have their, let's see, their starter or QB1's injured. Brian Hoyer got injured. And so they had to go with the third stringer. I believe their season is lost.
I don't think it would be so lost. Tim, what are you saying?
I think Patriots should sign Cam Newton. I heard rumors that they may sign Cam Newton, so Cam Newton might be back for the Patriots
Again?
soon. That's what I heard because they have no quarterback at all. Because all their players are hurt. The wide receivers are hurt. Anyway, but Damien Harris did a decent job for the Patriots running backs.
I mean, yeah, I watched this game and really I thought it was going to be a super blowout, game. Like Green Bay was going to win by like 20. But Green Bay got hit with the Zappa. And the third string quarterback from New England. Yes, when he bumps up, we know it's Zappa time. They were probably going to add somebody, through free agency, to kind of help out. Because, like I said, like we've mentioned, Brian Hoyer got hurt like very early. It was like, I think like the second series of the Patriots where he went out. So, hey, kudos to the kid for, keeping the game very close. So from Green Bay, we were going to Vegas, where Las Vegas Raiders, where the Raiders got their first win of the season against the hapless Denver Broncos. Oh my goodness! In the morning podcast, this is what we talked about. That the Raiders were going to win, not because of the Raiders, winning, but because of Denver losing. Alex, what are your thoughts on what you saw in the game?
Yeah, Russ doesn't cook anymore. I think he's retired from being a chef.
Oh no, that's kind of a salty discussion on that one. All right, Tim, what you got to add?
Josh Jacobs did a phenomenal job as a running back. He's good with 2 touchdowns for himself.
Yep, 2 touchdowns. Basically carried this team today on his back.
Then Waller did a decent job as tight end. Waller had a couple of good catches from the car. So
yeah, I mean, overall, kudos to the Raiders for finally getting off the schneid. The Denver Broncos, I do not know what's going on there with Russell Wilson. The man cooks like a TV dinner. Or I think as I put it in, the one chat, Russell Wilson cooks like pot roast in the microwave. Definitely not cooking well. The Broncos definitely are not team that we expected them to be. They also lost Javonte Williams. And I mean, they brought out the cart and carted him off the field. So that's a heavy blow for their offense, which wasn't firing on all cylinders anyway. So yeah, welcome back to the Melvin Gordon Show in Denver. Oof is all I can say. And finally, we're going to wrap up these Sunday night games over in Tampa Bay as the Kansas City Chiefs rolled into town and rolled over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They rocked them like a hurricane over in Tampa Bay. What were your thoughts on this game, Alex?
This was shades of the Texans-Chargers game. The Buccaneers trailed by maybe 3 scores, but then they had a charge, but they couldn't seal the deal in the fourth quarter.
All right. Tim, anything you want to add on that?
I think Michael Evans came back from his suspension. Came back. He did a phenomenal job. Godwin came back.
Mike
from
Evans,
injury.
not Michael Irvin.
I said Michael Evans. Yeah, not Michael Irvin. So Godwin came back from injury. He did a decent job from injury. But Kansas City, what a nice pass they threw to. Yeah.
Oh, that is going to be a highlight that they're going to play at the end of the season, no doubt. That wonderful little blip pass from Mahomes to Hilaire.
Yeah, but I think Kelsey always does a phenomenal job. Even though in the second half they didn't use them a lot. They had the other wide receivers Valdez Scantling and other people that they use a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this game was well in hand for the Kansas City Chiefs. Even before halftime, you definitely knew this game was over for them. It was nice to see Tampa Bay actually start putting up some points. But hey, against Kansas City and that offensive juggernaut that they have, you can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them. All right, so that is all of the Sunday games. So before we go into previewing Monday night, I know Tim, you and I were talking a little bit before the podcast about the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles, about who on Philly's schedule might be the ones to beat them. Looking at it, they go to Arizona next week. That depending on which Arizona Cardinals team shows up, that might be the stumbling block. They got Dallas twice. They got another Commanders game. Where do you think the Philadelphia Eagles will get their first loss?
I don't know. Are they playing? Who are they playing with the AFC teams? What's their schedule?
I'm sorry, what?
Who's the rest of the teams? Are they playing AFC teams too?
Well, I mean, the next AFC team that they play is they play the Steelers in Week 8. Then they play the Houston's Week 9. They got, like I said, the Commanders Week 10, Colts Week 11, Packers Week 12, Tennessee 13, Giants Week 14, 15 the Bears, 16 is Cowboys, Saints in Week 17, and Week 18 is the Giants.
I think the Giants probably knocked them out. Probably the Giants are the closest team that will come attack them, maybe.
All right, so you say either Week 11, Week 14, or Week 18. Okay. Yeah. All right, Alex, so who do you think is going to bump them off? And no, I'm definitely not saying it's week 9 when they go to Houston.
Oh yeah, no, come on now.
Who's the next division rival they play?
They play Dallas in 2 weeks, in week 6. Might be a Dak return game too. So
Will that
on
be
Sunday
in
night.
Philly or
Yeah,
in
so
Arlington?
that'll be fun. It's going to be in Arlington.
Ooh,
No,
okay,
wait,
so
no,
that
it's
might
going to be in
the-
Philly. My bad.
In Philly, that might be the
Yeah.
game due to the Cowboys having pretty solid defense, and then having Dak back, of course.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a couple of stumbling blocks out there. Definitely have a feeling that week 12, if they are not undefeated, they're going to take an L probably to Green Bay. So 72 Dolphins, your undefeated season, is still unmatched. So have fun. So back to the normal business. We'll talk about Monday night, where the Los Angeles Rams go to Candlestick. Oh, is this? No, it's not Candlestick anymore.
Levi.
Yeah, showing my age. I miss old Candlestick Park. But yeah, LA goes to San Francisco to play the 49ers. What do you see? Basically following the terms of the morning show, basically give me a prediction of who's going to win and a bold prediction of what you see happening. Alex, what do you got?
Niners will win, and Debo will get 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown.
Whew. Hit the hat trick. Tim, what you seeing?
I think Cooper Cup. For Rams are going to win with Cooper Cup, but I think Jeff Wilson Jr. will score maybe 1 touchdown, 100 yards. For the Rams.
All right. I am going to say that the LA Rams are going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be a handedly spanking of a game. Cooper Cup is going to catch 20 passes on the night against the 49ers. And Stafford's going to throw for 3 touchdowns, maybe 300 yards. All right, so that'll finish up week 4. We'll jump into Thursday night's game, which basically is the struggling Indianapolis Colts and the struggling Denver Broncos playing on Amazon Prime Video. So, give us something to make us want to see this game. Alex, give us a bold prediction, and who do you think is going to win?
My bold prediction is that we see more of. Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second.
All right. He's going.
All right, I'm back now. We see
right.
the Cortland Sutton show. He could pop up for 2 touchdowns.
Oh, 2 touchdowns from Cortland Sutton. All right.
And those 2 touchdowns would lead to a Broncos win.
All right. Saying that Russ is going to ride, I see. Tim, what are you seeing from this laughable matchup?
I think we're going to see a JT show with Jonathan Taylor show. JT scoring 2 touchdowns, 150 yards.
All right. So I see the lowest viewership of any Amazon Prime games between these 2 teams. I see the Broncos actually winning this game. I see Russell Wilson actually having to be old Russell Wilson. See Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy both getting 2 touchdowns. That is my bold prediction there for them. And actually, I almost forgot. While we are here, let's cover the next week's early game because we have another London game next week. So make sure you get your W energy because we're gonna have a long week 5 Sunday when the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers travel over to travel over there across the pond and have what's going to be a more exciting game than the one on Thursday night. So basically same thing. Alex, Tim, what do you guys see? Bold prediction. Who do you think is going to win that game?
So this will be the Packers' first game in London, and they should leave London with a win, and with Aaron Rodgers balling out in front of all the people in London out in the new White Hart Lane. You should get like a hat trick.
All right, 3 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Tim, what do you see from the Merry Old England game?
Since my shipment of W Energy is coming on the way, I got just get an email from W Energy, so are they ready? So I think Aaron Jones is gonna score 2 touchdowns with 200 yards and win for Green Bay.
I'm going to go crazy here. I'm going to say the Giants are going to beat the Packers, and it's going to be on the hat trick of Mr. Danny Dimes and a 150-yard game from Saquon Barkley. So, there we go. We have that. So that is pretty much our show. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Tim, once again for joining me on this nightcap episode. Basically, giving your thoughts and reactions to the games ahead. Is there anything you guys want to add that you see from these games before we, kind of sign off?
I think my team could go winless this year.
I don't see that. I mean, yeah, I definitely with the way the Colts are playing your guys in the division, you definitely probably might get a win over the Colts. Or you might be the first 2-tie team in NFL history. Tim, anything from you?
I'll say my Seattle Seahawks are gonna go back-to-back wins this week.
All right.
Whoever they're
All
playing
right.
next week. Or I don't know.
So, basically, that is it for our show. Like I said, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Tim, for coming and helping me out with this. Thank you, all of you listeners, for listening to our podcast. Be sure to follow us if you like us. Comment and leave a review wherever you're listening from. Basically help us to improve ourselves as much as we can. We appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the reviews and everything like that. Feel free to visit our affiliates, fanatics.com and W Energy. Basically try them out. You never know what you'll find until you give it a try. And with that, I wish everybody a good night, a good week, and as always, a good season. Thank you.
Okay.